Hi YouTube, today is a Friday and it is May the 22nd and it's 2015. And I was coming to you in this video to sort of sum up some of the tactics that are used in organized stalking. And these are the tactics that they have used on me. Now they may use other tactics on other people with more or less frequency and stronger tactics or less stronger tactics. I can only tell you the things that this lady back. But anyway, the things that they have been doing to me, and just try to explain it to the best of my ability, what I have discovered by doing research and just by listening to my own body and the things that they do to me and what feelings that I get, and you know, just like that. Because I was watching some videos, and I think this the guy that I was watching on the video, I watched his video today, and I left a comment on his channel. He was saying something about that he think he was raped or something by these people, and they probably do stuff like that because they're like totally perverted. You have to excuse me because I have makeup on my face. I have pressed powder on my face, and anytime I do my videos I put on a little bit of makeup, and I'm like very sensitive skin, and I'm allergic, and it makes my nose itch and stuff like that. But anyway, he was saying that he thought that he had been raped because he you know, saw blood on his toilet and stuff like that, and I mean, they probably do that kind of stuff because like the majority of people that are involved in organized stalking are people that are like they're like the lower element of people. These people, they're drug addicts, they are you know, drug abusers, they are alcoholics, they are pedophiles, they are you know, people that are with a seedy type lifestyle, you know, like they are into pornography and all kinds of nasty things like that, and they do all sorts of stuff. Okay, so that's the type of people that they pull into this type of thing. And even if those people that they pull into this are not into that kind of lifestyle, they introduce them to that lifestyle because they figure if they introduce you to that type of lifestyle, and then what they do is they get videotapes of the people who they have in this organized stalking, and then if you try to, you know, say you're going to make a video or something, or you're going to get out of it, or you're going to, you know, report them to somebody or something like that, all they have to do is pull out a video and say, okay, we have you on a video doing X, Y, and Z. So I think that's how they, you know, how they keep some of the people that they get into organized stalking. That's how they get them in, and then they just give them what they want. You know, if you're a drug addict, you know, you are on crystal meth, they get that for you. Whatever it is, your drug of choice, they will bring that in and will give it to you, okay? And then they will introduce people who don't do those types of drugs to those types of things. So I said I would just, you know, come on here since I watched that channel and I watched that video, and I did leave a comment, and I told the person that said that they was raped, as a man too, told him to just come and look at my my videos on my channel, because I think another thing that they try to do with people like myself who come forward and we make videos and put them on YouTube and stuff, they want to silence us. They don't want us to talk about what is happening to us. And if we figure stuff out that they're doing, and you know, we hear things that they say and do, because plenty of times they're you know, they're like broadcasting and stuff like that, and maybe some of the things that they are saying and doing while they are broadcasting, maybe they didn't want those things for you to hear. Maybe you were only supposed to hear this, but then you heard that. Okay, that's what I'm saying. Okay, so you know, that's how it goes. You know, they do all kinds of different things, and a lot of people who are on here like myself, they try to keep us separate. Okay, they try to separate us, and then what they will try to do is they will take whatever it is about one person who was stalked and organized stalked and who was a target, and then they will introduce information about that person to like maybe another person that is doing a video on here. Because this guy, when he was talking, he was saying stuff like they use numbers and different things and license plate numbers and stuff like that, and they put different numbers, get people to park around him to have all the same numbers, or whatever number that they want to psychologically pull a trigger, because this a part of this organized stalking is very psychological in nature. They use a whole lot of psychological tactics to pull you into this. Oh, I don't know why this thing is going off and on. I'm sorry. But anyway, they use psychological tactics, and this is what they have done to me. And, they try to use like color campaigns and noise campaigns, where they'll bump horns, get people to bump horns. They get people, if you drive, or even if you don't drive, they get people to drive around in the same color cars. Most of the times it's red cars. Sometimes it's different color cars, or whatever color that they're trying to introduce to you as the person that's targeted, and they're trying to psychologically control you and brainwash you, or whatever the devil it is that they're trying to do, because they always broadcast in here that they're programming me and all kinds of stuff like that, and this, that, and the other. And then when I make my videos and stuff, I say, okay, well, if you programming me, what are you programming me to do? To talk about you, and to tell people about you, and to tell people the things that I know, because a lot of them I know. And I told you I worked with, I would say 3 of them, because the mother, she was in on it too, because when I first started working with this this woman, and I'll come back to what I was saying, but anyway, when I was first working with this woman, and before I had even met her kids, she was talking about her husband this and her husband that, and then come to find out her husband had passed on. He must have had died or something from cancer or something, whatever was wrong with him, he died. And then shortly thereafter, after I met her kids and stuff like that, the daughter would come over there, and then things that I had just texted to whoever I was texting it to, she would come over there and then have a conversation with her mother, and then mention the things that I said, like in my text. And I was like, well, what the hell is going on? I'm like, right here, I'm, doing a live-in job, and I'm living with this this woman's mother, and she's doing this, and then the mother got in on it, and they would make fun of me and stuff like that. Like I said in other videos, they were like, she would say stuff about me, like I had Payless shoes on. Oh, I like those shoes. Oh, I seen those in Payless. And I'm like thinking, you saw them in Payless, and there's nothing wrong with Payless. And I would shop in Payless today. If they have something I want there, then I'm going to get it there. There's nothing wrong with shopping in Payless. But she made it seem as though they were so rich and so wealthy, and that I was so poor and lowly, and I didn't have anything. And come to find out, I told you I looked up and I saw her and the brother, the 2 that are targeting me the most out of anybody that I know of. Natalie and Rich from South Philadelphia. The mother lived on South 11th Street, I think she lived on. And her name is Elsie. So if anybody's from South Philly, you know those 3 names and you recognize those names, they are a part of organized stalking. Those 3 people, the mother and the 2 kids. I don't really know if the oldest brother, if he is a part of it. He could be, I don't know. But the only thing I know is when I initially heard them broadcasting, because they started doing it in their home. They started like broadcasting in their home. It was the son, the daughter, and another girl that worked there. Her name was Cynthia. Her name was Cynthia. And she did 4 days. I did 3 nights, and she did 4 nights. And she was like all posed up on the picture with them, and the other girl, she is a black girl in this white family, and she was all posed up on the picture, and they got this big old picture in their living room, and she all on there, all smiling on the picture and stuff. And I'm like, girl, they don't accept you, because if they talking to me as though I'm nothing, then they couldn't possibly think anything of you. But then at that time, I didn't know anything about the gang stalking or organized stalking, and they were all a part of this. They were all pulled into this and a part of it. But come to find out, when I did a little bit of sleuthing and I did a little bit of searching on the internet, I told you I found both of them. They both had the nerve to be on Facebook. Okay, the girl named Natalie and her brother named Rich, they had the nerve to be up on Facebook, and these are the same ones that broadcast and hear all the time that they are CIA operatives. Oh yeah, so what you doing on Facebook? If you are a CIA operative, what the hell you doing on Facebook? But they on Facebook, and she all cheesed up on Facebook looking all ugly with her dog and stuff, and her brother ugly as hell, and he's an old man. I figured out his age when I looked him up. He like 60-something years old ass man that should be retired and should have grandkids, and neither one of them don't have any kids, and they definitely don't have no grandkids. And then I found out that the girl, after she was laughing at me and talking trash about me and making it seem as though I was so poor, I ain't had no money, and they were so rich, she lived in a homestead house. When I looked up her on the internet, I found that she had a house. A little, they in them houses in South Philly, some of them, they like little 2-story houses, and they like this and small. You know, because I guess her mom's house is probably bigger than hers. It's these little teeny-weeny little streets where it's like, you know, you can't even have parking on both sides, and the houses is tiny. And she got a homestead house. And I don't know if they have homesteading homes program in other programs in other states, but in Pennsylvania, homesteading means that you owe so much money that they about to put a lien on your house, and then they come up with a program to keep you from losing your house. She lives in a homestead house, the one named Natalie. And her brother, he ain't much better. When I looked him up on there, because his mother was always boasting, oh, my son, he works for the gas company, this, that, and the other. When I looked him up, you know where he worked for? And it's no hating on them. He worked for Old Country Buffet. That's where he worked, at Old Country Buffet. Okay? So that takes care of the two of them. Now, with this organized stalking program, okay, they pull in these people, they get them all involved into it and stuff like that, and they train them and different things. I guess they must give them training like the ones that they want to, you know, sit down and actually be on these shifts for these 16 to 24 hour shifts. Neither one of these two people that I'm talking about, none of them are married, and they don't have kids. And I told you that they were talking in here, and boasting, and the one named Natalie, she was, I'm married, I have a husband, and Rich is married too, he's married also. And I'm like wondering, well, what y'all telling me if you married for? I don't care if you're married or if you're not. But I don't believe it. I don't believe it because I think both of them might be, I think she might be a lesbian and her brother might be gay. Okay, that's my belief. Okay, from the things that I saw when I worked over there. Okay, so if they married, then she must be married to a woman, and her brother must be married to a man. And I'm a Catholic and a Christian, and in my book, that kind of stuff, to me, it just doesn't register, because according to the Bible, marriage is man and woman, not woman and woman and man and man. But if you got, you know, you doing that, you do your thing. Okay, that's my belief system. Okay, but anyway, that's how they go. And then with this program, they do noise campaigns, like they will get people to blow horns and do all kind of crazy stuff, and drive around in caravans, and, you know, people to follow you and stuff on the street. And perfect strangers who you have never met or seen in your life will come around you, and they will talk about anything that you discuss in the privacy of your home. So like if you were at home, and say for instance you're at home with your husband or your wife, your kids, whoever you're there with, a friend, a relative or whatever, and you're discussing something and saying, oh yeah, I'm going on vacation, and guess what, I'm gonna be going to the islands or something like that. The next thing you know, the next time you go outside, you'll get people around you, and they'll start saying the same thing. They'll like come up and strike up a conversation and be saying, oh yeah, you know, I'm going on a vacation and I'm going to the islands and whatever you say. Like if you say, okay, I'm staying at the Holiday Inn, whatever. Oh, and I'm going to be staying at the Holiday Inn. So everything you say, they get people to come around you. And with the psychological torture, they get these people to say everything that you say and discuss into your home. Meaning then that your home is being bugged by these people, and that is illegal, okay, to bug your home, okay, unless you are a police officer or in some kind of office of law or something like that. You don't have the right to bug anybody's home, but this is what they do. They bug your house. When they do this program, they have your whole house bugged up. That's illegal, okay? That's against the law. Then also, and these are the things that they do to me. So I'm going to discuss what they do to me. And then maybe after I discuss what they do to me, I'll maybe discuss things that I've seen or heard other people say on other channels. And then also what they do is they tamper with all of my mail. Every single thing I get through the mail, they tamper with it. Like when I purchase things off of eBay, they tamper with it and they put like chemicals on there. And if I don't use gloves to open my packages and stuff, my hands will start to itch like crazy and stuff like that. And, my hands feel like they're going to break out, like I'm going to get a rash or something like that. And I have to, like wash my hands. And sometimes it takes like a couple of hours for that itching to subside. So they put chemicals and things. They will open up my packages. That's against the law. That is that's also a defense, which is unlawful to go through a person's mail. So they will tamper with my mail, and this is what they do. They tamper with all my mail. All the things that I get through the mail are tampered with, and they go through it. And I was noticing that I was smelling these same smells because every time I would open up the package, like you would see the thing on eBay where they say it would come from a non-smoking house or whatever, and no animals and no smoking and stuff and no odors to the whatever it is that I bought. Usually it's dolls because I buy the used dolls and stuff off of eBay. I would get the packages and they would be smelling like body odor and smoke. So I knew that the person that one of the people that they had that was harassing me, that was opening up my packages, is a smoker. This person smokes, okay? Because I can smell the cigarette smoke, and this person has body odor. Like I could smell the body odor, so, they must, I don't know, maybe they don't shower or whatever, but because, you leave your odors and stuff when you touch things, your odors are left on those things. And the dolls and stuff would come and they'd be stink, okay, and be smelling all smelly and stuff, and smelling like smoke, and smelling like old butt and cabbage and stuff. That's what it'd be smelling like. And then in addition to them tampering with my mail, every place I move, they get the people, and I don't know if they talk to the people or if they just talk to the people that come in and clean out the apartments and do maintenance in the apartments, because you don't know what level that they are using it, because you figure they could possibly come and talk to the people in the office and stuff like that and tell them, okay, well, we're watching this person, they're under surveillance, and we need to get into the apartment to modify it or whatever they do or tell them, and they need to modify the apartment and whatever, and then they come in and they run all of their equipment. Like I told you, they run everything through your heating and ventilation system, so that when in the winter, when the heat cuts on, I can hear the broadcast, and then when the heat cuts off, the broadcast stop. I don't hear it no more. And then the same thing with the air conditioning. When the air conditioner is running and it's going, then I can hear the broadcast, and as soon as it shuts off, the broadcast stop. And I used to wonder about that. I used to say to myself, like, how is this? Like, how come is it that when the thing turns on and it's like vibrations and stuff? Because I had read that when they do the V2K and they send the signal, that signal will bounce off of any sound whatsoever. So if I clap my hand like this, the sounds and stuff that they are sending through here will bounce off of me clapping my hand, and I will be able to hear them talk or broadcast better, because any kind of movement, so like if you have your TV on, it will bounce off the sound off of your TV. If you flush your toilet, it will the vibrations from the V2K will bounce off the sound of your toilet flushing, that it will sound as though the person is in your toilet. If you get into your shower to take a shower, and this is what's happening to me and what they do to me, the sound of the water coming down with the shower, the V2K, whatever thing that they're using to beam into my home, the sound will bounce off of the water, the running water. So I turn on my spigot to brush my teeth. It's the same thing. When I turn off the spigot, the broadcasting stops. I don't hear it no more. I'm in the shower and I'm taking a shower. When the water, as soon as I turn on the water, like that, you can hear the broadcasting. As soon as I'm out of the shower and I turn off the water, the broadcasting stop. Okay, this is the technology that they are using, and this is what they are using on me and probably a lot of other people. Okay, so that's another thing. Okay, so I said the noise campaign, they do the V2K, they do the psychological, which is the absolute worst, because they try to psychologically dislodge you and drive you insane, and then they try to put you like in a non-human status. This is what they try to do, and try to make it seem as though you're not even, worthy of being a human. So we're just going to use you as a test subject, and we're going to experiment, whatever it is they're doing. We're going to do this to you, and there's nothing that you can do about it. So this is the type of things that they do. That's some of the things. And then, they do other things, like they will coordinate people, and they will use cell phones and probably social media. They probably have special social media websites where they send and tell the people to go to those websites and get on there, and they will tell them what to do. Like they'll say, okay, well, go to such and such a place. Like they probably will dispatch them because they're in. If they have your house wired up, then okay, they already know where you're going. So you're talking about, okay, well, you called on the phone, you made a doctor's appointment, and it's going to be Wednesday at 10 o'clock, whatever. They know you're going to the doctor's office. They know where the doctor's office is, and all they do is they probably dispatch people and send them. This is what I'm thinking. That's in my opinion. This is what I'm thinking how they do it, that they will dispatch these people and send them out to walk around, harass you, and just act as though they're just a normal part of your life and just a normal part of living. And it's all a psychological tactic used to destroy you psychologically. This is what they've done to me. And when I saw this gentleman's video, and he talked about the same thing, that they send fire engines and stuff, and they used to do all of that to me too. They would send fire engines, and they would just be blaring and stuff, and all different things like that. And I didn't pay them no effing mind, okay? I ain't paid them no fucking mind. So all of that has ceased. Every once in a while, I will still see it from here and there, but those kinds of things, I don't even pay them no mind. And like when they send the crazy people to walk around me and wear a certain color clothing because they want to sensitize you to certain sounds, they want to sensitize you to certain things that you see in your everyday life. So this is psychological torture of the worst kind, because it's done, and the way it's done, it's so subtle, but then it's so evil, because they will do it to sensitize you like to numbers and colors and all kind of crazy stuff like that. Like they'll get, people to come around you, or if you have a car, they will park cars around you, like maybe with your initials on there, with your birth date, maybe the month of your birth date, and all different kinds of things. This is how extensive this organized stalking program is. And after I seen this gentleman and I seen his video, I said, you know what, I've been kind of wanting to make a video like that for a while. And I make, bits and pieces on my videos, like I will do a little here and a little there. So I said, well, let me just do, tell them a little bit about all the things that they do and what they have done to me. Because I've went through everything, the noise campaign, and the psychological stuff. And the psychological stuff, that's the main thing what they do to me, because I guess they figure with the other stuff that it's not working. The other stuff is not working. So now what they started doing over the past, I would say, week or so, is they started doing like the street theater. Like they'll get when they broadcast in here, they'll get a couple of them, and they're sitting in there, and probably have the whole thing rehearsed, because they follow a script. They give them a script, and they have to stick to the script. So whatever it is that they tell them in the script is what they have to do. And then they also tell them that anything that you're watching on TV or anything you say, to repeat those words. So like if I'm sitting and I'm watching the program and I make a comment and say something like, "Oh, look at that nice orange hat," or whatever it would be, they would repeat that, and just say like either orange or hat or orange hat, and then that's a part of it. And they tell them to say that too, and that's a part of the psychological stuff. And then they get all sorts of people that live around you and stuff. They get them all in on it, and they tell them, and they pay them all off. And even though they're always trying to broadcast to me and make me think that, okay, everybody is doing this for nothing, and these people is all walking around and wearing what they tell them to wear and doing what they tell them to do for $0. Okay, well, we all know that's a big old lie. But anyway, getting back to this light is all messed up. Getting back to more of the things that they do with the psychological stuff. Then they try to get everybody in on it. Everywhere you go, if you go to a doctor, they will call the doctor and probably lie to the doctor and say, "Oh yeah, well, we're this agency," and so on and so forth. "We're watching this person, and do this or don't do this, say this to them, don't say this to them." And most of the people, most of the doctors and stuff that I've gone to, they have been a part of this. They have succumbed to it, and they have become a part of it, okay? And everything that they tell them to do, they do. But getting back to what I was saying, with what they've been doing for like the past week or so, is like they get them and they do street theater with the broadcasting. They do a bunch of street theater, and like we'll be asking each other questions and different things like that, and trying to act as though like they're from some agency, and they're questioning each other, and "Oh, well, where did you see this, and where did you see that, and blah blah this," and like what I think is they've been watching too much TV. They've been watching a little bit too much television, and they have been watching too many programs and too many space movies and stuff, and futuristic movies and stuff, and that's what it is. But this is what they do. They will sit down and they will talk to each other, and like ask each other questions and stuff. And I recognize the voices of just about all of them. And then there's this one of them on there that is always blasting off his mouth, and is always broadcasting. He has like this funny accent, and I don't know where that accent is from, because like he's always telling me, "Well, concentrate," and we're having a corn test. And I'm like, where is he from? What kind of accent is that? Like, where does he come from? And concentrate, and you can do this and whatever, like telling me and broadcasting to me to concentrate on whatever the hell it is that he's saying to concentrate, because they stuff go in and out. Sometimes it come on and it's on and off, and I can barely make it out most of the times. But when I want to listen actively, then I will listen actively. When I don't want to listen, then I will shut them off, and they're gone as far as I'm concerned. But that one, he has this funny accent. I don't know what part of the country he's from, but that's how he sound. Concentrate. It's a contest. So I was making fun of him all day yesterday. I was making fun of every second word I said. Concentrate and concentrate. And last night, oh my God, they laid into me all night. They was buzzing me all night, because I guess he must have got mad because I was making fun of him and laughing at him. Because like, what else can you do? You got these people, they got you under surveillance, and they got people watching you and stuff, and they try to get every single person in on it, because they want you to believe that they have so much control over people and so much control over people's actions and so much control over you and so much control over your life that every single thing and every single aspect of your life is under their control. This is what they want you to believe, and I'm going to stop it. And I'm going to come back because I'm up to like 30 minutes and I'm doing this on my iPhone. So I'm going to stop it and come back with another part. Okay, stay with me and come back and see the second part, because I'm going to still tell you some more information about this phenomenon that's known as organized stalking. Okay.